You guys, what's up? It's Aceofspadesth, and welcome back to another tutorial on how to make a basic Mugen character. If you've just now seen this video and you want to learn from the beginning, link in the description below. It'll take you back to part 1. Alright, so in the last video, I told you guys to make sure you got all your blue boxes, red boxes, collision boxes, attack boxes, all sorted out and everything. I didn't make certain animations, I think I know one's for getting up, one's for taunt, lose, win, and intro. There's several others I don't remember. And there's one more. I think there's one more. I don't remember. Oh, and there's several other attackers and whatnot. Crouching medium, whatnot, crouching strong. If you already did all those are for your character. Specifically for your character, not for mods. Don't worry about that. If you already filled them in and everything and whatnot, don't worry about it. I didn't do that for me because character doesn't have a lot of attacks. Because essentially, in short, it's 9 kicks and 9 punches. That's a total of 18 different attacks, into basic attacks, punching and kicking wise. So today, right here, see it says constants. Click that. We're gonna learn how to work with this today. This looks scary at first. Don't worry. This is not really all that scary. I understand how to feel. It's not all that scary. It's pretty it looks like you can sit here and be confused by it because you don't even know what half the stuff is. I still don't know what all the stuff is, but that's okay. Not everybody knows the whole Mugen template board right here. This is the whole Mugen template board when you want to add in your coding and such. I'm starting to learn, I think I learned power add, life add. I learned vel set, vel mule, post freeze, post add, play sound. What else? Not hit by, fall, end shape, exploded time, exploded binds, color, nothing, change animation, change state, after image times, So I'm still learning to remember most of this. Gravity, hit add, hit by, hit def, modified explosion, projectile, I think state type set, yep, stop sound. Alright, but that's all for another time. Let's not worry about that. You're gonna learn the basic, you're gonna learn basically the basic coding. The rest, it's not hard, but I will let you know to use references from other Mugen characters to see how they code their stuff with certain template of coding, that way you can grasp an idea on how to do it yourself. Alright? Alright. So right here we have basically the fundamental information of the character. Their life, the amount of life they have, the amount of bars of hyper attack they can do, their attack power, defense, basically their defense increases, for how long they're knocked down or basically getting juggled. 15 points for more juggling, guard spark, echoes, volume, lie down animation, persistent index, float persistent index, Then you have the size and the character, what they should do, and whatnot. So, in short, this is pretty much, and then velocity, movement, in short, it's basically the whole essential of what you want the character to look like in the game. And there you go. But since if you're using the Sonic character or your own Sonic fan character, I advise you to change the X and Y scale to 2. And the reason why is that because in the last videos I have exported the Mugen to show my character, to show the results and such, and basically they were very small compared to any other Mugen character. I've always made my Sonic fan characters the sizes for the X and Y scale to 2, because at least I know if I'm playing with a different Mugen character and I fight one of them, the hitboxes are more accurate and not cheap because, you know, of height wise, you know. So I got the best of both worlds. At default attack distance, I don't mess with none of this stuff. This stuff is like, you know, I'm gonna just keep it right there, because you're gonna learn how to do all this stuff later on. So I don't mess with none of this, you know. Velocity, walk forward. You can change to whatever number you want. I'm gonna change mine to 4. Walk backwards, and I'm gonna change this to 4. I'm gonna change this to 4.5, and the walk backwards is gonna be 4. The run is gonna be 7. You know, neutral jump, jump neutral, jump back. Let's see. Jump forward and jump back speed is like jumping back and forth. Run, jump back, you know, run, jump forward and everything. You can change those up. I think probably for the neutral jump, I'll make it 10. The neutral jump back speed, you know, and the jump back speed probably 3. I'm not gonna use a decimal for that one. Jump forward, 3.2. Let's see. Run, jump back. 4 seems nice. No, that's too high. Let's try 3.1, and I'm gonna make this into 10. I keep that 8.1. Forward, 4, neutral, nah. Alright, so let's see how this looks. Not yet, actually, hold up. Movement, air jump numbers. Basically, how many air jumps your character can have. How many you want them to have, you know. Air jump height, 35. Y acceleration, for the vertical acceleration for them to jump higher. And then you got the friction with them standing and crouching, whichever one you want to do. So right now let's save this because it's minor.
Round 1, fight!
Oh Jesus, oh Jesus, that looks nasty. Look at that, see? That's what I when you mess with stuff like this. I don't really mess with this too much, so I'm gonna go back and undo it all. Fun fact, I want you guys to notice. I want you to listen to what I'm about to tell you. Control Z does not work. Done. Control Z does not work. Alright? So when you're using Control Z, it just doesn't work because I don't know. Maybe it wasn't programmed for this. Like, it works in some cases, just not in all cases. You know, don't use Control Y to redo it either. Let's try this again. There you go, I fixed it. See? It looks better like that. Because earlier, you know, when you got it small and everything, it just looks weird. Alright? So let's change it up. Let me put this back up to 10. I'll put 10. Alright. Let's see. This should fix it.
Round 1, fight!
It don't look like it got higher. Let's try 12. There we go.
Round 1, fight!
There you go. Yeah, alright, they get higher. Alright, so we're gonna leave the rest alone because, you know, that was nasty looking what we just did, so don't worry about that. And leave all that alone, you know, just undo all that. Just worry about the jump neutral, the walk forward, and walk back, and the run. You can worry about the run back and everything else later. Right now, that's not important. Format. See, this basically gives you the format of how to do everything. Any number you choose, you know. It basically gives you the state number, the type, rule type, physics, juggle, etc., etc. So, lose by time over, win state decider, win pose, introduction. These are already done for you. You don't gotta worry about this. Taunt, done for you. Standing light punch. So, remember in the last video, well, I can show you in the music now, actually. Alright?
Round one.
Let's pull this off for a minute.
Fight.
So this right here is coded, right? So what does this mean? Well, it's simple. There you go. She's able to attack. You know, this is her attack. You know, it's able to read basically the attack because it's all coded out and what it's supposed to do. Alright? So, there you go. It's all able to read it all out. Let me close this out. Alright. Standing medium punch. Now, these are not coded out. As you can see, they're not coded out at all. You know, they're just like there. You have to do it yourself. So let's do that today. We're going to try one today. Let's do this. We're going to go to add. We'll stay on the tab. It's add. Right? You're going to go to punch. Right? State depth number is 210. So that's the number we're going to use. 210. Animation number is 210. Because that's the animation number in the animations. Right? Let's go back to 210. There you go. Now remember, this is key. Remember where your red your tap box is, or which animation number it is. Let me extend this a bit longer. There you go. All right. Remember where this is always at. This right here, because this is where the character is gonna attack. You've made the attack. You did the time. You know the takes, how many takes it takes, or whatever, to get to certain things, and you basically nailed it. Now remember that. Alright? So let's go back to the constants. Hit animation number. Since I already got my red box showing, it's 2 for me. Whatever number it is for yours, put it for that number. Alright? Damage. Yeah, what's the first damage number? Hold up. 23. I'm gonna make this 35. Why not? Type, it's a stand type. So I'm gonna select all this, right? All this is in the blue line and whatnot. And I'm gonna hit insert. And it gave me everything I want. Alright? Now this is a medium type attack. So let's work on this a little bit. Let's work on this at all times. It says anim L equals 2. You can write time equals 0. It's still the same thing, don't matter. Attribute, stand, normal attack, damage is 35. Anime type is medium. Type that in. It's medium. It'll show a different animation when a person is hit with a medium attack. 3 hit, pause time. Basically, pause time is if the character attacks, how long the attack will pause in between the frames and whatnot is basically it. Spark number is 0. That's basically the effect for the attack. Spark XY equals -10. That's where there's the spark, the attack spark will show when a character is getting hit. You know, it's going to be above the Sonic character, of course, because you know we got to do a lot of fixing. Hit sound is basically sounds from when you add it. Guard sound, same thing. Ground type, high, low, trip, etc. Slider time, you know. Hit time is when a character gets hit and a hurt pose for a certain amount of time. Since this is technically a medium type, I'm gonna put 25 for it. Alright. Ground velocity is basically when you hit the character and they slide. You know, when you punch them, kick or whatever. Depending on what the level it is for them to get hit, they slide across the stage for that certain amount of time. So I'm gonna put velocity equals 2. -2, excuse me. You can't put +2. Because that part here, this part here is for player 2. I won't say PlayStation, excuse me. This part here is for player 2. For what the player 2 is gonna do after player 1 has initiated its attack, you know. So let's see here. Air hit time, we can make that 20. Air velocity, let's make that 1, -1. Alright. Save. Make sure you're saving constantly too. So for right now, we're not gonna touch the pause time. Actually, I could. Let me do it. I'm gonna show you the difference. I'm gonna put it for 4. That, just so you know, anytime you see a number 2 as well with a comma and a number, the number that's after the comma, it's always the air time, the vertical part. All right. For anything with sound is usually like group number and that number for that sound. Don't worry about that. It's not the same. These two are different. But anytime you see something with this kind of thing, you know, with for air guard velocity, 1.9 is your horizontal. Negative 0.8 is your vertical. Pause time is 4 is for the horizontal when they're on the ground. So that's the horizontal plane right there. 10 is their vertical for when they're in the air. How long, you know, the animation will stay still for. You know, the same thing for ground velocity as well. You can do that. You know, -2 and -4. That means they'll slide -2 to the right and go -4 up. It's not a +4 because X and Y axis is different on the game, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. Alright? So, let's test this out. See if it works.
Round 1, fight!
I'm gonna walk over to you. Okay, that works. It works. See how fast that, compared to this, see how fast it is? This one is faster. See? See? There you go. So, it's got a little pause there, but it's not much of a, it's not a bigger pause than the jab is, you know? It's a slighter one. Which I'll fix later with the jab and everything, but don't worry about that. Fix it on your own time. You're just learning how to do this basic stuff. Alright? So that's it. That's basically it. The medium attack is done. Now, the better question is, do you have to do this for all your others? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But first, let's get into something different. Because we're not going to worry about these right now. Let's do the jump light punch. Where's my jump light punch? Let's go to 600. Alright, yeah, this will work. Jump light punch. It's a spin dash for me. I like this. Animation is, state depth number is going to be 600. Animation number is going to be 600. Head animation number, I'm going to put as 1. My damage is going to be 10. The reason why I make it at 10 is because it's going to be 4 attacks. So, I don't want to sit there and mess this up. And make it be a broken attack. Type in air. Alright? So, I'm going to do this. It's like last time. Bam. Now, notice in the ground type, it had a change state. What's a change state? Hold on. I'm going to show you. Here you go. This is your change state. A change state is another way of going into another cycle of an animation. 9 times out of 10, most change states will go back to the idle pose because that's when the attack is done. Actually, it's not 9 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10. The change state will always go back into the idle pose. This right here, this is a key piece of coding you will always need for certain attacks when it comes to specials and hypers. And this is actually true. This is definitely true. Alright? So, this change state, it don't have to work on the air attacks, the basic jump attacks. They don't have to. It doesn't have to work for that because you're automatically gonna fall back down and hit the ground anyway, so it don't matter. But when you're on the ground, if you don't have a change state on the standing attacks or the crouching attacks, they're gonna be stuck in the animation loop forever. Coding is very sensitive. Very sensitive. It's a hit and miss at most, but 9 times out of 10, one wrong thing and you could be infinite looping, you know, forever. And you won't be able to get out of that unless you get hit. And then it'll just rinse and repeat. So, because this is an attack, it says animation time equals 0. Basically, in short, once this animation is finished for the attack, value equals 0. The value means basically, after this attack is done, it's gonna go back to the idle animation, and you will have control over the character once the animation is completed and hit back and goes back to the idle animation. That's what this is saying, basically. All right. So let's go back into do the air thing. All right. I'm gonna just click this. Just go to your stage and double click on state depth number 600. It'll just put you there. Simple as that. All right. Now, let's say, for example, you want to add more attacks. You know, you have more than one red box on a certain attack. You know, several frames to be exact, and you want them all to be registered into a hit. All right. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna press enter. Under trigger 1 equals animation elm equals 1. Trigger 2 equals anim L equals 2. Trigger 3 equals anim L equals 3. Trigger 4 equals anim L equals 4. As long as the word highlights, it don't matter how you spell it. You know, just know that it can be like this. You can spell it like this. It's still gonna register it. So that's why I have it in a different color, so that way you can see that the code is correct. So basically, what I just did here is basically this. The first trigger is basically saying frame 1 attacks on the first frame, connects. Second frame connects. Third frame connects. Fourth frame connects. That means all 4 of these frames of the spin attack that I got for the jump attack are gonna count as hits now, right? So I'm gonna leave this pause time the same and everything. I'm gonna put this to 20, and I'm gonna put this to 20 as well. All right. All right. Now I'm gonna get rid of this vel set because this is gonna stop my character in mid-air, because it has a thing where once I'm in the air, the vel set is 0, 0. If I'm in the air, right, and I do an attack, hold up, this right here is gonna stop me and just make me drop down. I'm gonna show you.
Round 1, fight!
So any other attack, you know, I got free roam, right? You know, that like that. I didn't fix the timing on that. Don't worry about that. But see, it stops me. It won't give me that frame range, like the roaming of just maybe never doing it. It just stops me. See, and that's not what it's supposed to do. So let me fix this real quick. I'm gonna put this as 4. And speed up a little bit more. 2. That's nice. Alright. So let me get rid of this vel set. That's gone. Now I should be able to move whenever I feel like it, right? Let's test it.
Round 1, fight!
Right? There you go. And then what's the button for the second play? There you go. There you go. That's it. It registers all 4 frames. I'm able to move freely, you know. I don't have to be constricted. Or, restricted. You know. And I can do this now. It's good. We got it good. Alright. Now, do I have a trip pose? I don't think I do. Hold up. Let me go back to this real quick. 420. Oh, that's going to be it. That's going to be my trip. I bet. Because I don't have actual 450 state depth. Alright. So let's talk about this now. Excuse me. Whew. Alright. Crouch strong kick. Seeing that's difficulty equals easy. This move uses trip for the ground type trip parameter in its hit depth. It's a special type that puts the opponent in a trip animation as he falls. Also, the hit flag parameter in the hit depth is set to MAFD. The D indicates that a down opponent can be hit by the attack. Alright? So basically, you can now juggle on the ground. Alright? So, let's do this. I'm going to show you. The state depth number is going to be 450. My animation number is going to be 420. Your animation number is going to be 450 if you have a certain amount of attack. If you have that number already with the animation side of it. What's my animation? What's my hitbox? Interesting. This is going to be very difficult. I don't know why this blue box is really here. Whatever. Sometimes you gotta go back and like rearrange certain things. This is kind of a normal thing for me. Well, I feel like, you know, this is interesting right here. So, alright, let's try this now. Animation 420, hit numbers. What is that? 4? 3? 4. Alright. 4. Crouch. I'll make this 30. Take all this. There you go. Now notice the state type, move type, and physics types is different as well. State type is on crouch. The type is crouch. Physics is crouch. And then you know when you go all the way to the 200s, type is S, physics is S, and then in the air, type is A, and physics is A. The move type is always going to stay A, so I guess in a sense, it makes sense, whatever. Alright. Now, they mentioned about the hit flag. This is your hit flag. You can make this as a D. Right? They also mentioned about the ground type. The ground type is going to be called trip. But the animation type you want to make for it, it can be anything. I'm going to make it for heavy. Alright? Velocity. No, I'm gonna leave it as 4. I'm gonna change it to negative 3 because it's gonna kick him up in the air for a bit and whatnot. Pause time equals 5 because I don't want to be too slow. Let's see. Hit time 30. Air hit time 30. Now what I would do most of the time, because I don't want them to get up, if I'm fighting an enemy and I don't want them to cover, I do this and watch me do this. Fall equals, no, it's all, yeah, fall, it's automatically going to fall, not fall. Recover equals 0. Fall dot recover equals 0. This is basically saying that if they're on the ground, they can't get up. If they're in the air, they can't recover from this. This is automatically no ifs, ands, or buts. This is kind of like restricting the enemy player that you're fighting against to not be able to do none of this. Alright? When you put the word trip, it automatically means that they're going to fall regardless. That was so slow. Hold up. Let's fix that real quick. I forgot to do all the timing and stuff for this stuff. So I can do it later. It don't matter. Alright. Let's save. And here we go again.
Round 1, fight!
There you go. So you have to, you don't just really get it like that, you know. All right. So they're not gonna be able to get up from that. Pretty simple, right? Nice. You can mess with the air guard velocity and all that other stuff, you know, if you want. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just teaching y'all the little essential basics and whatnot. All right. For the throw, I'm not too whiz on that. You know, I'm not a genius on that part because I always mess that up, you know, and whatnot. If you go to the, I think it's 800. Yeah, it's 800. Let's go to 800 real quick. That's 5,000. That's not what I want. There we go. All right. Throw attempt. If you have a sprite of you throwing or attempting to grab the character, right? And then 810 is the toss. And then 820, the throw animation will look correct for any given characters. You know, that's it. And then that's it. In short, when you put a pose up there for them, you're basically going to get them to get thrown. You know what? I don't have one. So we'll save that throwing part probably for the next video and whatnot. But this is basically the coding for the throwing. It's a bit complicated. Even I don't understand most of it myself. Excuse me. But if I get the time to actually sit there and think about how to do this, then, yo, man, I'm good at this. Player 1 facing -1/1 if the turning holds holding forwards. Player 2 facing 1. Player 1 state number. Player 2 state number. This is basically for player 2. 820 when they get thrown. So you can show them that. Fall equals 1. So it's a very complicated thing to do. But we'll worry about this later because I want to sit here and make sure I got everything right. Most of the stuff I don't ever touch in 810. It stays the same, you know. It's 820. No, it's 821. Excuse me. That I mess with, you know. They have override common states that are always executed, states that are executed within self, stage files -3. We'll play this another time, all right? So now we got all that, right? All right. So I think this is gonna be it for this video. I don't want to cram too much in your head, what you have to do, because at the end of the day, you know, we're gonna get to more of this stuff. Right now, you basically just learn how to do basic coding. Congratulations. You've done yourself a great favor now, you know. And in the next video, I'm going to teach you how to do specials. A special attack, and then a hyper attack. And then the commanding, and then audio, and how to make another color palette. That'll be it. You know, that's just be it. The rest, you guys can just learn on your own. Go through different Mugen characters folders. You know, always look for the CNS file. If they have their name on it, the CNS, and if they got more than one, like say like hyper levels and such like that, go find them. You know, and go use them. Use them to your advantage. You know, that's just it. So I want to thank you guys for watching. You know, I'm Aceofspadesth. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Go on, everybody. Peace out.